Hello everyone, welcome to TUF, the UPSC factory. I am Tanmay Kale, IRS 22 batch, your host for today. So today we are going to discuss today's newspaper, the Indian Express Delhi edition. So let us continue with that. Okay, so there is a news regarding the unhygienic jails, unhygienic or we can say unlivable jails. It is giving an example of Tihar jail here. So what you can do is use this as example in GS2. GS2, the criminal justice system. You can use this as example that how the inmates are living in the jail. So there is a very big issue in India when it comes to the criminal justice system. The jails are not livable. That's why a place जहाँ पे लोगों को सुधारना है. So a place where we have to reform the person, we have to rehabilitate the person. So that place is not worth living. So how will that person be rehabilitated? वो सुधरेगा कैसे अगर living condition अच्छी नहीं होगी. Generally we see that wherever there is conditions like this, like there is a subpar living condition, there only crime prevails, right? That's why if the jail is also at a subpar level, then the crime will prevail in the jail also. That's why we see many incidences of killing of inmates by each other like that in the jail, right? So you can write this as an example in your GS2 paper. When we move forward, there's an article on the issue of Waqf board also, right? This article, Waqf bill referred to parliamentary committee. So first of all, it's a good thing that the bill is referred to the parliamentary committee for discussion. So we'll not discuss this article as of now because it has not become act yet and it is in a discussion stage. It is given to the parliamentary committee. But what you can do is just go and see what is a Waqf, like what is the Waqf Act 1995, what are the provisions of the constitution governing that, articles of the constitution, the fundamental rights only 25 and 26, right? And you can also check the article number 14, article number 15. Okay, so you can do this thing here. Okay, we don't have to go into the controversies who is saying what, right? When the bill becomes an act, we'll study it at that time. But meanwhile, you can see what is a Waqf and everything else. Okay, another article here is today the newspaper consists of many good examples and not very good articles. So you can write this example in Digital India that challans for traffic violations in the city will reach us on WhatsApp soon. Okay, so this is a good example of digital governance, right? So you can write it as an example there. Now let's move ahead. There's one good article on the next page. Before that, if you want to read about the communist leader Buddhadev Bhattacharya, you can read about him. He was the last president from the last chief minister of West Bengal from the Communist Party of India. Okay, you can read about what were the reforms which he took under his rule, under his leadership in West Bengal. If you want to read, you can give it a read. Otherwise, there is not much need of that. One another example which you can write is here in paper GS1, right? GS1, the failure of society and the issue of honor killing. You can write this in essay also, right? So neighbors watch, make videos. Man strangles sister to death over the issue of honor killing, right? Over the issue of interfaith marriage or interfaith relationship. So you can write this as example. I have quoted some facts here. The honor killing cases are more prevalent in the few North Indian states, right? Few North Indian states like UP is there. Then Bihar हो गया अपना, राजस्थान है, हरियाणा है, झारखंड है, पंजाब. So these belts of northern India, these honor killing is more prevalent here. One other major factor in honor killing is also the class, right? You can see honor killing among the higher class people. or the higher class person killing a lower class person. That generally happens. Honor killing does not prevail in the lower class of the society, who is not economically well off. Okay, those who are economically well off, in that community only honor killing prevails. And there's one concept of sociology here, that is a hypergamy and hypogamy, right? So if a girl from upper caste or upper class marries a boy from lower class or lower caste, then it is called hypogamy, right? Hypogamy. And if reverse is there, then it is called hypergamy. So hypogamy is generally the main reason for honor killing in India, right? When a girl from upper class or caste marries a guy from lower class or caste, that is the reason for honor killing in India. And as per the NCRB data, number of honor killing cases reported, these are the only ones who are reported, right? But 25 in 2019 and 33 in 2021, that means that it has increased and it has been increasing, and these are only the reported cases, not the cases where conviction has been done, okay, or not the unreported cases. Okay, so we'll move forward with this. Now there is this one very good article here. So you all know that soon the elections will be taking place in the UT of Jammu and Kashmir. So there is this article regarding the issues which still pertains in Jammu and Kashmir after 5 years of abrogation of Article 370 and 35A. So let us see what are the issues which still prevails in the state and which is hindering the development in the state. You can relate this article with the development topic of GS3, right? GS3, you can also relate it with economy, you can relate it with internal security of GS3, and you can relate it with the governance section of GS2 also. The governance section of GS2, right? So there are many areas of many part of papers where you can relate this article with. So let us see what is given in this article. So challenges in Kashmir. First is inadequate fiscal management, right? So sources of revenue is actually limited for the state of Kashmir vis-a-vis the other states, okay, because of first the state has a very hilly terrain, right? It hinders, it is a what you can say, it is a hindrance in the path of development of manufacturing activities there. So due to that, the fiscal management is also a problem, because traditionally it has high dependence on center for the funds allocation, because the generation of funds in the state, erstwhile state of J&K and the present UT, has not been enough to cater to the needs of the state. Okay, so fiscal deficit is always high there, and this time it is seen that it was 3 times more than the budgeted estimate. Okay, it was around 13,000 crores, but budgeted estimate was around 4,000 crore only. And the revenue expenditure is high. Salary, pensions, and the of the government staff. So a lot of government staffs which are working in J&K. So the fiscal deficit goes up because of that. And now the Ladakh is also not the part of J&K because of the constitutional changes which were done in past 5 years ago. Okay, so the revenue from Ladakh is also now cut. Okay, so this is now an issue in the state UT of J&K. Now the sectoral contribution, if we see, the service sector contributes to 31% of employment and 2/3 of the gross value added of the state. Okay, gross state value added. Okay, so service sector, service economy prevails in Jammu and Kashmir because of the tourism also, right? That's why it contributes 31% to employment and 66 or 67% to GSVA. Now, agriculture sector, it is the most human intensive, most population intensive activity. Most number of people are employed in agriculture sector also, but its contribution to the gross value added is not as much as its contribution to employment, right? So steps to boost productivity should be there, right? Now there comes the tourism sector, one of the major sector for the UT. It contributes 7% to the state domestic product, right? 2.11 crore tourists visited JRK 2023. Okay. Private investment in the sector is lacking actually. There are a lot of problems in the UT of JNK, right? There are attacks on the tourist. Then there is the issue of insider versus outsider also there for the investment purpose. That's why the investment is not that much in the tourism sector. Then there comes the geographical challenges which has always been there in JNK. So what is the biggest challenge is the scarcity of land, because the most of the land in the Kashmir valley is being covered with the mountains. That's why hilly terrain is there. That's why the land is scarce. Land is a scarce resource there. And Jammu region get lion's share of investment because of the availability of land there. That's why the private investment is more in Jammu region. In Kashmir region it is less because the land is scarcity. Then there's security issues also. We have recently seen there are many attacks on the tourists, many attacks on the religious pilgrims, attacks on the locals is there. Then militancy is also there in Jammu Kashmir. That's why the investment is less. Then there's connectivity issue also because of the hilly terrain. It hinders, it actually prevents the investment to come there. Most of the investment is done by locals and Kashmiri expats, right? Kashmiri expats who have moved from Kashmir and now earning a good amount of money elsewhere in India or the world, and they are investing in Kashmir. Then there comes the infrastructure challenges in the power sector. It depends for power from outside mainly, okay, and the high dependence of hydropower is there, right? So the existing capacity of JNK is 3.5 gigawatt, and the need is also around 3.6 gigawatt, okay, but the dependency on hydel power projects is 600 to 650 megawatts, okay. The power demand in winter is high, as you know, to run the heaters and everything. The power demand in winter is high, and the generation is also only 1.2 gigawatt in winters, while the power demand is 3 times that. That's why they have to buy power in the time of winters, okay. So this is the issue with the power sector. In the AT&C losses, when we see the national average is only 15%, the AT&C losses in Jammu Kashmir currently is at 50%. Before in 2019-20 it was a 65%, okay. So it is way more than national average still. That's why. So these are some issues which is a roadblock, right, and in the investment in Jammu and Kashmir. So to address these challenges, suitable steps should be taken, right? First is that there should be a incentive given to investors who are investing in the valley Kashmir and not only in the Jammu region. Second of all, the power generation to renewable sources should be explored there. There is a lot of potential in geothermal energy in Jammu and Kashmir that can be explored, right? And boost should be given to the locals to boost tourism more, okay. And the security, obviously the security aspect should be taken care of, that no tourists feel unsafe in Jammu and Kashmir, right? So now we'll move forward with another of our article today. So there's not much important articles today, but there's this article, the recently household consumption expenditure survey for 22 and 23 has been released. There are not many important things which we can take from this article. One of the major important thing is which we can take from this article is this facts which are given here. Okay, so let us dwell into the article right now. Okay, household consumption expenditure, decline in incidence of poverty is seen. Okay, decline in the incidence of poverty is seen when we compare it with 2011-12 levels. So incidence of poverty, what is incidence of poverty actually? So incidence of poverty is measured by the poverty ratio, right, which is the ratio of number of poor to the total population expressed as a percentage. Okay, or simply the head count ratio, right? मैंने 100 लोगों को खड़ा कर दिया and I am just counting them. So how many of them are poor? So let's say 10 are poor. Then the incidence of poverty will be 10%, right? Okay, it's as simple as that. Now the major takeaway from this article is that we explore the vulnerability of change in the consumption status of household due to health expenditure. Health is one of the major out-of-pocket expenditure generally which we see among the poor class of Indian economy or Indian society, right? Particularly the hospitalization burden. The results reveal that among the poorest half of the population, 40% of those who experienced hospitalization face decline in their consumption status. मतलब अगर 40% लोग जो हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन कॉस्ट उठाते हैं तो उनका जो कंजम्पशन है वो कहीं ना कहीं कम हो जाता है. बेसिक कंजम्पशन नीड जो है वहाँ पे उनको कटौती करनी पड़ती है, राइट. ये 2011-12 का स्टेटस था. 2022-23 में दैट परसेंटेज हैज़ बिन रिड्यूस टू 33%. सो इट इज़ अ गुड साइन, राइट, दैट आउट ऑफ पॉकेट एक्सपेंडिचर for people who are already poor is reducing actually. So credits can be given to many schemes of the government, particularly the Ayushman scheme, okay, and the development of infrastructure in the rural areas, the primary healthcare centers, and the appointment of doctors there. The credit can be given to that. Okay. So now one other good example from this newspaper is this about the recently concluded badminton event in Olympics, where we have seen that our player Lakshya Sen, so he failed to finish on the podium. But what are the lessons learned here we can see, and we can use it in essay and ethics in the heads of perseverance, patience and dedication, right. So there is a good example given here. There is Zen master. Zen is a region mainly practiced in Japan. A Zen master whose martial arts student approached him and said, "Master, I've lost again in this tournament. I'm so disappointed." Master replied, "Did you win or lose?" The student said, "I lost." The master again asked, "Did you win or lose when you began training?" Then the student said, "I didn't win or lose. I just started." So the master smiled and said, "Exactly, you started. And now you continue winning or losing, right? Now you continue winning and losing is just illusions. Okay, the true victory is in the journey, right?" So this thing can be applicable for the Indian athletes also, right? Lakshya Sen, PV Sindhu, Vinesh Fogart, all they can see that it's just a part of the journey, winning and losing, right? Main thing is your perseverance. You should be standing there trying again and again. Okay, you can quote this example in ethics and essay as well. Okay, so I think this is all from today's newspaper. There is not many other things which are important for the exam perspective. Okay, so now I'll take your leave, and once again thank you for your patient listening.